Hello, everyone. Today we are going to go over the latest in beverage innovations. Beverages continue to be a big source of innovation and really leading the charge in a lot of disruptions. And a lot of the consumer mentality shifts that we're seeing are really entered into the food and beverage space through a lot of beverages. And so I wanted to take a moment and let's go over kind of the current state of things here, a thirst for change, if you will. As we look at some of the key stats to know to really understand the beverage landscape and why it's so important, we see that 8 beverage categories, which is over half of the beverage categories, are innovating at a higher rate than the total store. And so that means they're introducing new items at a faster rate to their category than the general store. This shouldn't be a surprise to a lot of people. I know there's always the new functional beverage out. It goes beyond functional, though, as well. There's new juices, things of that nature out. And it shows that people are really interested in beverages. And we see that with a huge number of brands that were entering the market. There were over 6,000 that were in the market that were under $1 million in sale a year ago, and 131 of those are now over $1 million. So they're making an impact actually on the category or starting to gain some traction at least. Some of them are much higher than $1 million, obviously making a real impact. And as one of the key things driving the industry forward is health and wellness, we see that the beverage market share for health and wellness products is at 39% compared to 27% for the total store. So people, as they're thinking about their health more, they're going towards beverages first. And we see this a lot of times shifting from other wellness categories first into beverage. And so some of the top health focuses that we see from that are mood support, cleanse and detox, digestive health, cold and flu, and energy support. We're going to dive into a bunch of these in more detail. Why are beverages so important to us? They play a critical routine in our everyday life. And so whether it's your, butt first coffee, everyone needs the coffee before they're functional, or they're having their cup of orange juice, all the way into, their nightcap cocktail or beer, we are seeing people rethinking and reimagining what's going on. And so this is raising the tide for the entire category. So the incumbents are holding market share, innovating, but we're also seeing consumers who want a different lens on things, having these rising stars. So instead of, your cocktail, we're seeing mood support beverages or non-alcoholic, different types of hydration. That's a big thing. Gut health and juice, energy is being reimagined. And so this whole idea of the drinks throughout your day is a great way to understand how to get incorporated into people's daily routines. People are still looking to buy, in this case, these single serves, but also the bulk serving of the type of beverages that are playing a big role in their day. People can't go their day without some of these beverages. And so getting incorporated there is a big deal. When we zoom out and just take a look at the total beverage landscape, you see 5% growth over the past 2 years, and you see that non-alcohol has actually taken 2 percentage points from alcohol, and so that's in alignment with what we're seeing as consumers, especially younger consumers, are pulling back on alcohol. There are still bright spots in alcohol. We'll get into that. But a lot of the beverage innovation and market gains are coming from that non-alcohol segment. When we take a look at which categories and which subcategories are rising and growing the fastest in market share, we see that ready-to-drink cocktails. So we'll get into this is really the bright spot for alcohol as people look to up their ready-to-drink alcohol experience. They're going for the premium craft cocktails. It's growing at the fastest rate. But energy drinks, it continues to hold the highest market share, and it's still growing, at double-digit rates. So energy drinks is really something that I've talked about a lot, but it continues to be, people are looking for more energy. They're looking for it in different ways, and energy drinks have really repositioned and disrupted a category, unlike really any other thing that we've seen, where we've brought in a lot of this like active lifestyle brands into it. and focus more on performance and different daytime energy as well. So really like sub segments on the energy drink market. I continue to be very impressed by the large growth in both dollars and units. And so that's what we're seeing here. You see the categories that are growing in both dollars and units. What we've seen, especially over the past year or two, is that most growth categories are led by price increases. So when you see categories, especially in premium types of beverages, so they're already more expensive, things like energy drinks and ready-to-drink cocktails, to stick on those. When you see those gain both in dollars and units, it really shows the desire for those. And also, you know, something that's not talked about often is these categories. While the ready-to-drink space, especially functional beverage, premium cocktails, they're pretty expensive, and people are pulling back on their groceries. And so it almost seems counterintuitive. But when you think of, a lot of these people might be skipping their morning Starbucks or, you know, craft coffee shop, or they're skipping their nightcap at a bar, this is actually the economic option. So while it seems a little off that people are looking for these premium type of and higher price point items, when you think about it in that total landscape, they're having this at home versus like at a restaurant, at a coffee shop, at a bar. This is actually the more economical choice. So there are really four consumer mentality shifts that we see really shaping the industry. This first idea is lifespan to span. So this is, again, shifts in people's daily routines as they want to live better longer. And so this comes in a few different ways. We see people looking for nutrient-dense opportunities, you know, food as medicine, beverage as medicine as well. You know, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, managing glucose spikes, or when to have your caffeine. Are you supposed to wait a few hours after waking up? How late can you have it without disrupting sleep? As well as different functional ingredients. You know, we're seeing microbiome, gut health being really important. So really, like, how to have your version of health as well, the different diet types, global notions as well. So a lot of the ideas that started in food service, these global flavors, these global formats, things like boba tea, have really gained traction. But again, first in the restaurant and food service setting, and now having a lot of success in the ready to drink. So look for more of these beverages and flavors that are popular around the world, being able to innovate and find an audience in the retail landscape. Sustainability continues to be top of mind, whether it's packaging, sourcing upcycled ingredients, organic, of course. These are things that are growing concern to consumers, especially when you can tie those sustainability aspects to personal health as well. And then the last one is this idea of indulgences. So a lot of what we talked about has to do with, you know, people being, you know, looking for things that they believe will make them healthier. This is not to say that these indulgent categories are going away. In fact, I think that they're growing. There's a lot more. It's not mindless anymore. It's very intentional. So you see people, you know, working in these nostalgic flavors, these nostalgic products. Or on the flip side, if they're trying to have the best of the both worlds, it's people who have maybe exited a category, like soda, for example, where they thought it was a junk food category. Now, you know, there's brands that are bringing in, again, you know, pre and probiotic, and shifting it from, this was a junk food category, we added a functional ingredient, we added a health focus to it. Now it's a health food. So it's bringing consumers who are out of the category back in, which is why I mentioned at the beginning that this is kind of raising the entire category and not necessarily, you know, cannibalizing some of the incumbents there. Which health focuses, just a little bit deeper dive. You know, we talked about the top five. Mood support is one that's very interesting to me as people pull back from their nightcap. We'll get more into that. Digestive health, you know, people are becoming more aware of the health implications of gut health and microbiome. I don't think that people, outside of knowing that it's good for you, you know, I think there's still a lot of education around there. But you're seeing things that are fermented beverages, Kombucha was really the winner there. Probably years ago now. And we kept waiting for like, what's that next kombucha? And there's all these different types of fermented beverages that came out. Some had some success, some didn't. But then we've really seen established categories, again, like soda, pulling in some of those attributes that people loved about fermented beverages, and then pulling it into an established category. So that something to keep watching out for. When it comes to mood support, adding relaxation ingredients, magnesium is really an ingredient that I've been watching out for. And this is something that's going to continue as people look for a nightcap or special feeling drink, but they're looking to pull back on alcohol. And then energy and hydration. These are just big. Active nutrition space has really been leading the way in a lot of the new category development. The attributes from active nutrition being placed into hydration and energy, which are inherently focused on active nutrition. Really becoming everyday. So it's out of only the gym. It's into the office. It's into your daily routine. And mood support. Why do I spend so much time talking about mood support? The different ingredients. Right now, we're seeing in cross-channel, it's really, it's a small category. It's only $38 million. But what we see is that a lot of times to understand the next wave of functional beverages and functional products of tomorrow, look at what's been trending in supplement today. And so you see the mood support supplements had a big boom a few years ago. There's a little bit of recalibration, and now it's growing, at 7% again. And it's a $370 million category. And so we see that wave of interest flowing into functional beverages, and you're seeing the large growth rate. And there's a large opportunity for these brands to grab market share and really deliver on this. Everyone's stressed out, everyone's connecting stress to sleep. So there's a way to hit on a lot of the health focuses that consumers are looking for in this beverage format that people want and are used to incorporating into their daily routines for this purpose. And so this is kind of a new way to put a different spin on it. And we've seen this pipeline happen before. For it trended in supplements, then it went big into beverages. And so, I touched on it, so I won't spend too much time, but we saw that the big disruptors in that energy drink space, the ones that really took it into a performance focused category that both innovated and disrupted, took large market share, were brands that were traditionally making powdered supplements. And they figured out that to make like a ready to drink version of those powdered supplements, and then switch it to be positioned as an energy drink. And we're seeing this similar thing take place in hydration. You see brands, starting out as powder format and making a ready-to-drink version of it. I think that we're going to see a similar disruption over the next few years as a lot of these innovative brands that have the brand recognition and the trust of consumers move into the market. And then it's also about format expansion. So not everyone always wants ready to drink. Not everyone always wants a ready to mix option. And so, brands are doing well with format expansions or not. Sometimes it doesn't work. But that's where a lot of the growth is coming from for the brands that are really executing on it. And so on the flip side of some of those mood support beverages, you have people who just like the taste of it. And, so we're seeing this big increase in non-alcoholic beer. So, this great headline, the hottest beer in America doesn't have any alcohol in it. It's pretty crazy to think about that. But, the interest is there. You're seeing a lot of the main beer brands are creating non-alcohol versions. Then you're also having these non-alcoholic native brands popping up. And so this is a way to make it okay to have the beer in the middle of the day, or the people who are pulling back on alcohol for whatever reason. We're seeing a big success here. And then for the people who are looking for that buzz without the booze, be on the lookout for all those types of relaxation drinks. So we mentioned the things with like supplement ingredients like magnesium, mushrooms, adaptogen herbs in there. But also be on the lookout for some of these hemp-derived drinks. There's been CBD drinks out there for a while. but I'm very interested in the growth of the THC drinks that are already in, major retailers. It's already in, like for example here, Total Line. And so these are ways that people are getting that, that buzz without the booze. And this is going to have a major impact on that, that special feeling beverage. So that's something to really keep a lookout for. I mentioned the highlight for alcohol has been these ready-to-drink cocktails. This goes to one of those big core mentality shifts of intentional indulgences. When the bars and restaurants shut down way back when in 2020 for COVID, we saw people doing their delivery cocktails, and it's led to a lot of innovation in the ready-to-drink alcohol space that was non-beer. Obviously, you saw the big seltzer boom, and that's expanded into a lot of these, craft cocktails. People are looking for these premium offerings for, to drink at home, take to parties, and they're seeing a lot of growth and a lot of innovation. Things that not everyone's an at-home mixologist as well. So it broadens what people can consume as well. We see this, taking place. This is just some fun examples, but a lot of people have probably heard of the Sleepy Girl Mocktail that's been going viral. And so this is a combination of a lot of the trends that we're talking about. So you have your magnesium in there. Again, big ingredient to watch. Your tart cherry juice, which is good for inflammation, also naturally has melatonin in it. And then everyone's mixing in prebiotic sodas. So we're seeing this go viral as like the Sleepy Girl Mocktail. There's been smoothies with celeb collabs on it. And we actually tracked each of the ingredients. We saw that after this, there was a big New York Times article about it. You see each of these product types really having a surge in sales. So this is kind of that connection for a lot of the trends, how it's playing on social media, and how that's really impacting a lot of the industry as well. And then finally, you see beverages. It's coming in with both there's a lot of celebrities in beverage. It's a really sexy category, but it's also pulling on other things of interest in the marketplace. So things like skin health. So you're seeing collagen, colostrum added to a lot more beverages, and people are looking at this beauty from within and how can they incorporate that into some of these functional beverages. The gray area between what's a supplement, what's a beverage, what's going on here, these functional food and beverages, it's really blending. It's just format evolution. But you're seeing that a lot of this is having a role, in mainstreaming and premiumizing a lot of these products. And so this is just some of the ways that there's innovation, and it's a really exciting category to look out for. And I think that we're just at the tipping point. There's a lot more categories that have the opportunity to really elevate the whole category and in a lot of these consumer mentality shifts. So thank you so much. Please reach out to us and let us know what you think.